they coming down now?
Can anybody, is that all right? If anyone wants to move down, this row is available right here. This row is available if anyone wants to move down. You want to put in the
Yeah, that could be somebody.
They want to watch the video.
Okay. Oh. They have to go. Oh, they're coming in the other round.
They're going to the other side.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God! Who are these people?
They look like a lot of fun.
Lessons learned about love and death, sex and sin, and saving the best for last. The Old Gays Guide to the Good Life.
Strike a pose. Ladies with an attitude. Fellas that were in the mood. Don't just stand there, let's get to it. Strike a pose, there's nothing to it.
What is the best place for an LGBTQ plus vacation?
Palm Springs!
Until the point. Okay, I'm not done talking yet. You will speak when I'm done.
Oh, honey.
Girl, security.
263 million views and 2.5 million TikTok followers. These four friends from Palm Springs, California are an internet sensation. Bill, Jesse, Robert, and Mick call themselves the Old Gays, and over the past few months, their videos have gone viral. We've fallen in love with this fabulous foursome. They have some big name followers too, including Rihanna, Kristen Bell, and Alicia Silverstone. Oh, and Oprah Daily reposts their videos regularly. They may be the old gays, but they really are young at heart. Please welcome Bill, Jesse, Robert, and Mick, also known as the phenomenon, the Old Gays. Now, Bill, you say that you're like the Betty White of the group. Is that true?
Yes, because I tend to be a little more proper and formal, but I also have rather devious things running through my mind.
I love your saltiness, and I read actually that you said you might be the Samantha of the group. Is this true?
I would like to say yes, I am the Samantha of the...
I love it. And you can tell when you watch the videos, like, you're salty. You're the salty dog.
I know, and I'll take any man as I can find them.
think Mick Peterson, Bill Lyons, Robert Reeves, and Jesse Martin are just a few friends quietly living through the golden years of life in Cathedral City, California.
No.
Are you crazy? But known as the old gays,
We invented gays.
these golden guys have taken the internet by storm with more than 3.2 million followers and 320 million views across all their social media platforms.
I'm just speechless.
And that's just the beginning. They've gained the attention of everyone from Lance Bass to BB Rexa to Rihanna.
Why would such a beautiful, talented woman of Rihanna be watching us?
Because we're entertaining.
Not to mention us.
This is how we watch Hoda and Jenna.
We want to be friends with them. They are so fun. But we're not the only ones. Hollywood has taken notice too. The foursome recently signed a deal to continue the love and laughter with a docuseries about their newfound lives in the spotlight.
It's gonna be gay!
Bill, Jesse, Robert, Mick, guys, welcome. Look at your life in a blink like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
amazing.
do you? I mean, how long did it take for you to go from guys who no one knew their names to the people who everybody's stopping in the airport and saying, "Can I have your autograph?"
Since the beginning of this year.
That's it? 1 year?
It brought so much joy to us today.
Thank you for coming to see us. What a treat. By the way, Maria was here and she was like, the old gays? You saw her? Yeah. All right. Well, we want to thank you guys. You can follow the old gays on TikTok, on Instagram.
You probably all are already anyway.
The next book will be about where we know all the bodies of it.
I can't tell that. I haven't seen it.
I don't bury my bodies, that's for sure.
Oh, no, you hang them up in the closet?
Sorry. I'll adjust it before the guys get out. I yell anyway, sorry. I have a lot of employees. I'm Ted Hain, I'm the general manager here at the Mary Pickford Theater. Thank you all for coming. If you have not already, please turn your cell phone to silent. I hand this over to our mayor, Rita Lynn. Just hold me.
It is absolutely delightful to be here tonight, and I'm going to read this because there are so many specific, wonderful things that these fabulous men have attained. The Old Gays are a group of Cathedral City residents and LGBTQ+ activists who range in age from 67 to 80. The group consists of Robert Reeves, Michael McPeterson, Bill Lyons, and Jesse Martin. The Old Gays are an internet sensation with more than 11 million followers on TikTok, 680,000 plus followers on Instagram, and 500,000 on Facebook. They've recently published a book called The Old Gays Guide to the Good Life. I saw many of you reading that out in the lobby already. Good for you. Published by HarperCollins and released this past Tuesday, November 28, 2023. On March 26, 2022, the City Council honored the 4 Cathedral City residents, Robert, Mick, Jesse, and Bill, on the main stage during Cathedral City during LGBT Days. And just on a personal note, I happened to meet Bill probably 12, 15 years ago. We crossed paths at a yoga class here in Cathedral City, and it was fabulous. And then I crossed paths with him again at the Cathedral City Senior Center. And over the years, and the small talk continued, he told me about this group that they were forming and these experiences that they were having. I think it's absolutely fabulous, and it's what they're experiencing now is kind of the sublime amalgamation of humility, fun, and zest for life that we all wish for. So without further ado, I want to introduce these wonderful gentlemen to you tonight. Thank you.
Hi folks, I'm Jason Blitman. I am the host of the podcast GAYS Reading, and I will be your moderator for tonight. And I turned to the guys and I said, lots of folks have, between the video and telling a lot about you, I don't need to do another introduction. And Jesse turned to me and said, do it again. So, because we're here to celebrate their book launch, I am going to read their bio from the book officially. The Old Gays, best friends, Robert, Mick, Jesse, and Bill have won over the hearts of fans, young and old alike, with their heartwarming and humorous content on TikTok, in addition to sharing hilarious reactions to pop culture and their excitement about their growing celebrity following. The guys who live in Cathedral City, California, have also become educators on the strides made in the LGBTQ+ community over the last 5 decades, with endless experiences and wisdom to share, and their fan base continuing to flourish. The Old Gays are an inspiring, shining example of how to make the most of life, no matter your age. And now it is my absolute pleasure to introduce the one and only, the Old Gays. Nick, Robert, Jesse, and Bill. Oh, thank you. Great job, Jesse says. I'm also very thrilled to be sitting because somebody gave me a hard time about how wrinkled my shirt was. So, who could that have been? You guys, I'm so excited. I'm holding your book in my hands. I had the pleasure of interviewing these guys just before the book came out a few weeks ago on the podcast GAYS Reading, which just dropped on Tuesday, so you can check that out. But now they're here. They just did a whirlwind tour. How was New York City? Jesse, do you want to talk about New York City a little bit?
Christmas. It was Christmas. It was Christmas. The weather was perfect, and I walked around by myself and taught New Yorkers to say hi back to me.
Mike, we can't hear. Is your microphone on?
You can't hear me? It's on. It's on. Can you hear me? Okay. Did you hear what I said? Then I need to repeat it.
No, you don't. So one of the things that we talked about on GAYS Reading is how, the guys don't really have a bucket list, because what does that even mean anymore? And also, who even knows what to put on a bucket list anymore? Mick, did you ever think you'd be on the Today Show?
No.
Bill, did you think you were going to be on the Today Show?
No.
I know. How was that experience for you?
It was incredible.
Yeah.
And this was the second time that we've been on the Today Show.
No big deal. Yes. No, it was the second time. Jason, get it right. We've been on twice. How was Al Roker? I'm sorry, I'm not Al Roker.
Al Roker was amazing.
Yeah.
Just like you would think he'd be.
Oh,
yeah.
That's good. One of the tenets in the book is never say die, right? Because it's the moments are about living, and you never know what's coming around the corner. And Robert, you just launched a book. You just launched a book.
Yes. Well, first of all, the process of writing this book has been a wonderful experience over a period of about 9 months, actually. And the author, Dibs Bear, did such an incredible job. And HarperCollins, the publishers, have been so good to us. And while we were in New York, we had a chance to spend time with a lot of the people we've been communicating with. And it's an unreal experience.
Yeah. So you mentioned the author. So just to clarify, there was essentially, you all told Dibs your stories, and she took them and just put them coherently on the page, right? So they are your stories, for clarity's sake.
Yes, and it involved about a 2-month period of interviews, both group interviews, where she would throw out topics to get our ideas and exchanges between us, and then lots of individual interviews, which were usually Zoom calls, and she just, over that period of time, accumulated our thoughts and put them into words that made sense.
Yes. So the book, I mean, you guys, you open your hearts. So to say even open is like not the right word. You break open your hearts and put them on the page. Bill, can you talk a bit about what that experience was like? I know that you talk a little bit about being the more reserved.
Yes. I am one of the more reserved ones.
Yes.
But putting the book together, all of a sudden I just started talking, and things that I hadn't told people before, I just opened up and just let it all out. But I did save a little for our next book.
Teaser. What was that experience like? Mick, do you want to talk about that? Opening your heart and soul?
Well, I was just thinking, according to Ridley Scott, there have been over 14,000 books written about Napoleon. And so I kind of figured, well, I'm just on my first. It was a wonderful experience. I enjoyed, I'm a writer also by trade, so it was a great collaboration with GAYS to write this book together. I forget what your question was.
What was it like bearing your soul? Like, tell your secret.
Well, I really didn't bare my soul so much as my breasts.
That's on a secret page.
No, that's in the book.
It's in the book. Yeah. Well, how did that feel? Totally normal.
Yeah, I heard just Nestle say normal. Well, it's normal.
That's about normal?
Yeah, I'm a real exhibitionist, so it really didn't matter. That's just how the world knows.
So, Jesse, is that true for you?
What?
Normal? Or is that normal for you, bearing your soul and over your chest?
It really is not. I have this wall that I keep up, but Dibs did pull a lot out of me, and she made me remember some stuff that helped me to heal. Stuff that I've been holding for years, anger and stuff. And so she helped me to breathe a breath of fresh air.
Like a therapy session.
A lot of
yeah. So speaking of, when I interviewed the guys, it was the very first day they were about to go record their audiobook. So they read the audiobook. And I've had the pleasure of both reading the book and also listening to the audiobook. And I have to say, if you bought the book today, you also need to buy the audiobook. And if you didn't buy the book today, you need to buy the book today because you have to have it. It's so great.
And Jason, I would intercede that at the end of this evening's symposium, you will all be tested.
Yes. Yes. Lots of pop quiz. What, on page?
On page 63.
The audiobook is really spectacular because it's them, they each read their own stories, of course. You were just talking about therapy, Jesse. What was the experience like? Sort of, you went through the journey with Dibs, just, sort of bearing your soul, but then sort of returning to it once it was put succinctly and coherently. What was that like?
It was, I had to stop a couple of times. You live your life, but to read it back is a different story.
Yeah.
And as I say, it was healing for me. It helped me get past a lot of junk.
Yeah. Bill, did you feel that way?
Yeah, I totally love doing the audio book, and I agree with you say. It just brought back memories when I was just verbalizing everything, and it just sounded absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, the book really sort of runs the gamut. It's, I mean, everything from growing up to living through the AIDS crisis, through, you know, sort of moving to Cathedral City and then becoming sensation. So you really sort of get this full picture where, you know, for a young gay person, I don't know many people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s who are gay and who sort of have a story to tell, right? And so it's important. You're like leaving a legacy to the people behind you, and it's really very cool. So to talk about Cathedral City, which obviously is part of why we're here, Robert, can you tell us a little bit about how you landed here?
Well, before I moved to Cathedral City in 1990, I was living in San Francisco, and in 1987 I learned that I was HIV positive, and so made a lot of life-changing decisions, one of which included moving from San Francisco to the desert. And I was fortunate to be able to have the money and the luck to buy a wonderful mid-century modern house up in the Cove. And I spent a few years working on it. And then I was a sculptor for many years and displayed in local galleries and other galleries, and then the GAYS came along and has totally consumed my time.
I mean, the way you just described it makes it sound like it all happened very quickly, but you know, really, you sort of moved to the desert as a means to, you sort of thought it was the end.
Exactly. I fully believed I was going to be dead in just a very few years, and I had a bit of money, and I spent it down to a point where I found myself continuing to live and improve, and not being on any HIV medications. And I truly attribute that to the environment here, because I think we live in a very special place. So anyway, I spent many years at the sculpting, and then the GAYS, and now who knows what's ahead.
Who knows? Book number 2. And, you know, a super fun story that, not to spoil anything in the book, but is how Robert and Mick become roommates. Can we give a little like maybe spoiler about Mick, how you became Robert's roommate?
No.
Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah.
If you haven't bought the book, go buy the book and learn for yourself. It's on page 63. You'll be tested about it later. All right. What's your favorite part about living in Cathedral City?
I'm
putting you on the spot.
I don't think there's any single thing.
What's your favorite restaurant?
Oh.
Uh-oh, I'm going to start a fight.
I like La Tablita, just down the hill, and occasionally Mick and I will go into Palm Springs, and usually one of the street restaurants, mainly Lulu's, and we enjoy watching the people and getting recognized. Does happen.
You sit in the window.
Yeah, I honestly think it's a pity that Shame on the Moon closed. Yeah, that was a really fun place to have Christmas dinner, you know. It was really, that's where I took a lot of friends who were visiting here, or a lot of my friends here in the desert. And I'm sad to see it go. I haven't found a new place. Spencer's is too far west.
Well, what do you love about Cathedral City?
The men. I know I'm being glib, but that's me.
No, I don't think that that's glib at all. And you know, I got to say, one of the questions that came in from the audience, which I'll get to later, but it's coming up, so I'll ask this one now. It very specifically asks Nick if you are single.
Yes.
Whoever that was an anonymously submitted question. Whoever that is. You have your answer.
Okay, the one who asks that question, show yourself.
What part of themselves? Bill, what's your favorite part about Cathedral City?
Well, it all came down basically when COVID happened. And Cathedral City was such a wonderful, peaceful place to be that I couldn't imagine being anywhere else during such a hard time. And I love Cathedral City. I've always have, and I just think it's a small place. I volunteered at the Cathedral City Senior Center for years, and I met the nicest people in the world.
Jesse, you know the question's coming your way. Everyone's already answered.
Well, I guess I'll give the real answer. My favorite part of Cathedral City is the street that I live on. And it's for one reason. I know all my neighbors for the first time since I left Greenville, Tennessee in 1971. I feel like I'm in a community. And I miss coming to sing Daddy Warbucks, but oh well. Remember everybody?
What does that mean?
Daddy Warbucks was a bar here.
Oh. I thought you meant you wanted to play Daddy Warbucks and Annie, and I was like,
no,
on the stage, you have a microphone.
Tomorrow.
No, today.
Jason, Daddy Warbucks was here. I was introduced to Daddy Warbucks in 1979. I was visiting with then my ex from Los Angeles. And to get to Daddy Warbucks, we were over in Palm Springs, we had to take Vista Chino. And in those days, Vista Chino was a dirt road. And that was the way to avoid the Palm Springs Police Department, because there used to be a squad car over just on the other side of the border. And so, you know, it's like going to Poland, you know, on the way over there.
You're an orphan, you have to go to the Daddy Warbucks mansion.
Yeah, well, you went to Daddy Warbucks and you danced and you partied a little too much, and then when you were driving 5 miles above the speed limit, they pull you over, you know. But those days are long gone, as well as Daddy Warbucks, and that's one of the things I enjoyed about coming out to the desert in the 80s. You remember the 80s, don't you?
Yes, applause for the 80s. We love the 80s. You know, Robert, you're talking about the desert being healing, and Ryan, who is the manager of the Old Gays in the book, calls the house a different world, the house that Robert lives in. The house sort of, in and of itself, is a character in the book. It's a character in your videos. You know, we really sort of get a fun glimpse into what this house is. And it's disappointing to me, and maybe for other people as you read the book, that I want it to be like the Golden Girls, and you're all living in the house together, and like that's what's going on. That isn't what it is, but that's okay. That's not real life.
No, it's not.
It could happen.
But I doubt it.
You're taking roommate applications, but I doubt it. Uh-oh.
No, the four of us living under the same roof would be scary.
So can we talk a little bit about the house? What makes it special?
It's just a well-designed house. Yeah. It works for all of the sun angles, and it's obvious that the architect, who I think is someone that's famous among the mid-century group because it was built in 1961. I've searched but not been able to find the architect. But the inside, the way the sun angles are handled through the eave horizontal windows, and then the fact that the shady side is almost all glass surrounding one end of the swimming pool.
That's the reason why Bob installed solar panels up on top, because you should have seen the air conditioning bill.
Oh, yes.
But I was going to say, for Bob, the house is a work of love for him. It's a work of art. He has spent a lot of time making so many improvements to the house, and it's his baby, and it's a great place to live. Yeah.
And also, I think it's one of the only homes in Cathedral City that has a hot tub in the living room.
But it's a new one.
Yeah, it works.
There's a hot tub in the living room?
Yeah.
All right, we're all coming over. Those stories are in the book. That really threw me off. I don't know why. How exciting, a hot tub in the living room? Terrific. That should be the next book. A tour of the house, like an architectural book.
Let's get through this one first.
Who do I gotta write to? Bill, what do you think about the house? Do you have to? No, we don't need to keep talking about the house.
Well,
everyone feels like they have something special to talk about. Bring it on.
To me, the house is extremely special because of the horizontal windows on top. You can actually walk all around the house nude, and no one else could know. And it's truly a wonderful mid-century home, and I think it was probably one of the first mid-century homes built in the Cove.
See, that's a fun fact.
Thank you.
Walk around totally nude.
Yeah.
Well, we already do that in Cathedral City.
Excuse me. All right, I want to talk a little bit about becoming an old gay. And what?
You grow.
No.
Jason, you just have to get old.
Capital O, capital G, because, you know, as I sort of alluded to earlier, in the book you talk about getting through the AIDS crisis, right? And I think people didn't see examples of folks of this generation living a wonderful life.
This is what I would say about it. I seroconverted in 2001, actually 2 weeks after September 11th. So that was, and 2 weeks after also my mother passed away. So it was a big change in my life. The one thing I will say about it, my luck is that I seroconverted in 2001 and not in 1991. And there are certainly a lot of drugs which have kept, pharmaceuticals that have kept both Bob and myself alive. I'll also say this, the way you get around it in a lot of ways of coping with any kind of chronic disease, but particularly with HIV, is I forgave the person who transmitted it to me. And as a result, I could forgive myself. And that is how you begin the process of accepting what has happened, owning what has happened, and then do the one most important thing, take your meds. And that's true with any illness that you face. You must take your medications, and that is primarily important. And we live in a wonderful state that helps us to pay for that even when we can't afford it ourselves. And we live in a very, very lucky place. And we made our luck because we fought for it. Because in the 80s, there was an administration that did not want to help us. And yet, you're all out there and you know, we fought for that, we went into the streets and we became advocates for our cause, and we found our power. And that lives through us, and I hope that is passed on to the generations that follow us, and I think that's happening.
Sort of along those lines, you know, for the two of you, do you feel, I mean, for all of you, is when you're performing, when you're sitting on this stage, when you're on the Today Show, do you feel like you're representing? Do you feel like you're representing a community that's no longer with us? Jessica, you're nodding your head. No.
It's not feeling it, we are.
Yeah.
And it's nice to educate people who are still ignorant on the subject of gayness, of AIDS, of every disease there is. You know, educate yourself and don't just talk stupidly against or for something.
Yeah. I mean,
we deliver those messages, but I thought a lot about why the success of us, and I think it's because through the dance and the costumes that we convey in a very visual way that getting old is not necessarily a bad thing, that there's a lot of life to live if you just live. And I think that that's way, and it's reflected in the comments that we get, where I've seen numerous comments where people in their 30s and 20s state, I no longer fear getting old after seeing your videos. So.
Yeah, I'll go on to that. I think it also shows courage. As Cousin Audrey once said, my cousin Audrey, she said, growing old is not for the faint of heart. And you gotta have heart to get through some of the issues that all of us face as we become older. And that's a testament, I think, to these fellows, especially to Bill and to Jose and to Robert, that here are these guys who are in their 70s and 80s, and they're all dealing with medical issues in their own life, and yet we take such great joy in performing for you.
You know, I've hit that age where I feel like I need to trim my nose hair every day.
You do.
It's very true.
So does Bob.
We're in this together.
And his ears.
That's my job with the LGAYS, taking care of Bob's nose and ears.
Heard it here first, everyone.
Especially this one right here.
Uh-oh. Everyone needs a friend like that, though.
I love him. I love him.
If you can't be a friend who's going to look at the person across the table from you and tell them you have something in their teeth.
They don't.
What kind of
They
friend?
don't tell me a thing. They leave me hanging
You
out there.
guys.
I know.
If Jose has something in his teeth, you got to tell him.
Right.
Bill, what would you say to your younger self?
To my younger self?
Yes.
I never thought I would be an old gay and enjoyed life so much. It started in 2018, and before I'd had a house in Palm Springs, which I lost during the financial crisis, and Bob got me into the Tierra del Sol apartments, which I was extremely grateful for, but I was at a low point in my life. In fact, I was celibate for 10 years. And then the old gays came around, and I started hearing comments like, oh, he's cute, and this kind of stuff. And so I started to get my confidence back again, and it really felt wonderful. And I am on social media now, and I'm having the time of my life. The old gays truly made my life livable and a happy way to be.
And just in case anyone's curious, are you single?
Oh, of course.
Of course. You know what? We should turn this into the dating game after.
Well, I had a long-term relationship for 5 years and then another one for 16 years. And now I'm really enjoying life.
Jill is what you call a dirty old name.
Uh-oh. The Betty White.
Bill has a real big admirer, though. Do you anybody know who Gus Kenworthy is?
Yes. What?
Oh yeah, we were doing. We were at the premiere for 80 for Brady earlier this year, and we were, in the reception line on the carpet. It actually wasn't a red carpet; it was a green carpet with hash marks, And we were standing there, and this really handsome guy jumps into Bill's arms, gives him a big hug, and it was Gus. Gus is a big
He was in that
admirer.
video.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Kissing him.
Ooh. All right.
Bill looks innocent, but
Jesse, before I ask you what you would say to your younger self, something that he gives away in the book is that he doesn't eat vegetables. When's the last time you ate a vegetable?
yeah, that's the thing.
This is too long. No, that's unhealthy.
I think it was a dinner at La Rock when we were in New York.
This past weekend.
Yeah.
It's just that I'm not a cook, and when I get through with these three, I'm dead. I don't have time to cook, so I go to bed. But I'm from the South. I'm a meat and potato man and dessert man. So, and my former partner's here tonight. He used to do all the cooking. I don't know how I stay healthy like this, but I tell my doctor.
All right, listen, that's all that matters.
Whatever works.
All right.
I like vegetables. I just don't cook.
Oh, thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
I like vegetables too. What would you say to your younger self?
You're still going to go to 126 and be okay. That's all I've ever wanted to do. Sing and live till 126. Why that? I don't know. But I'm getting closer.
What's your favorite thing to sing?
Thing?
If you were singing in the shower, what would you sing? You said you wanted to sing and live to 126.
Mm-hmm.
What would you sing right now?
What's according if I took a hit of pot? If I do pot, I do gospel music. Loud. And I just that's how it is.
Like what?
Great is thy faithfulness, O God, my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not thy compassions, they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever will be.
Come on. Zach Warbucks over here. Today.
I learned that at Daddy Warbucks.
Oh my God, that was amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us. Robert, what would you say to your younger self?
I would say take the time to listen to your inner self and be careful of making major moves but at the same time to keep yourself open to the opportunities that come, because there's a whole world out there that all you have to do is go for it. And so
yeah. Just go for it.
Just go for it.
I mean, that's what you did. You like changed your whole life, came to Cathedral City. Amazing. Nick, you knew it was coming. It was going down the line.
Yeah, I know, and I don't know what I would say to my former self. Just take it easy. Don't sweat. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
My ex used to always say, don't sweat the small stuff, and don't fuck up. Sorry. No.
Very succinct. That makes sense. All right, so make a single. Robert, are you single?
Yes, I am.
Yes, he is. Jesse?
What?
I desperately want to be a matchmaker, so I'm holding it all in because I just want to turn on the lights and start having people raise their hands, and but not today. We're talking about your book.
I'll intercede here. I was in a relationship for 25 years, a domestic partnership. I'm single.
You guys clearly spent so much time preparing the dances, the TikToks, the outfits, the everything. Robert, you said that sort of takes up your whole life. Bill, do you want to talk a little bit about what you do in your free time? Do you have free time?
Yeah, when I have free time, which I like to call Bill time, I just love to sit down and read and relax, because after doing the dances and learning the songs and all that kind of stuff, at the end of the day, I'm tired and spent. So I just love to get down to a good book.
What are you reading right now? Anything?
Yes. I'm reading David Baldacci's The 620.
Someone was excited about that. Mick, what do you do in your spare time?
You really? All right.
No, there are no kids here, right?
Yeah, you're right. This is not the kiddie hour. All right, so this is what I'll do. I love Sunday afternoons. I put on a football game. I get stoned. And I have a bottle of baby oil next to me. It's what I call a post-workout massage.
You asked. So you also work out in your spare time?
Look, I've even shocked Bill.
Bill, that's Mick. Come on, you knew that, I'm sure. Meanwhile, Jesse was like, "Why, you should have asked him that."
Well, I don't know about that, but Bob sometimes complains about all the screaming going on.
Yeah, well, this morning I was watching Noir to Die For on movies. A really good Gene Tierney movie called Laura. Yeah, and so I was watching it, and all of a sudden I broke into song and started singing from Sunset Boulevard, the song about whatever.
The musical?
I was singing, yeah. And I was singing,
as if we never said goodbye.
Yeah, that's it. I was singing. I was channeling Glenn Close in the living room, and Bob comes in and says, "You all right? I thought you were dead."
Well, there have been times where I've had to pick him up on the floor or call the paramedics. So there's good cause for that.
You've had some trauma.
Yes.
We've had trauma we've had drama, we've had trauma.
Well, that's another thing. I mean, you've all lived through so much, and it's all in the book. So we don't, we're not going to spoil that. Hold on, we have to go back for 1 second. Mick, you let Jesse sing his heart out, and you tell us that you were giving Norma Desmond in the living room today. You're on a stage. You have a microphone.
He's always doing that.
So is Bob. Bob runs around the house singing too.
I wish I would have known. We could have gotten a piano in here. We could have done a little karaoke hour.
We don't need piano.
Amen.
We didn't have them growing up.
No. Suddenly, I'm just so curious. I want to hear you sing, but that's for another time. That's for a good TikTok.
That's for book number 2.
Book number 2, yes, back here, 2 years. Really? No, that's up to you. Put your life down on the page. Robert, what do you do in your spare time? I know you said earlier that you're often very busy.
Well, I try to grab little bits of time, and I've got several sculpture projects that I've been working on, and so I'll do a little bit on it for whatever time I have. Then the rest of my time is just laying in my bed watching TV.
You called yourself in the book a lazy ass turd. Is that still true?
No, I don't think that describes.
Good. That is what that was a quote that I pulled from the book. Can someone find your art somewhere? Can they buy it if they wanted to?
I have a website. I've really not paid much attention to it, but I just recently seen several messages coming in, I guess after the national exposure we're getting. So I need to pay attention. There is an email address that you can reach me through the site.
All right.
And the site is robertereeves.com.
robertereeves.com to check out your sculptures.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look.
He's great.
He's great. He's doing all this mumbling over here in my ear. I'm obsessed, but I want to tell everybody else. Jesse says he's great.
He is.
All right, a few audience questions that came in.
An absolutely fantastic artist.
I believe it. He said he was in galleries.
And
he was a city planner in San Francisco. You can't, gotta have a sense of spatial awareness and things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's one of the only artists that I've ever seen that first thing he does is start a spreadsheet before he works on anything.
What do you put on the spreadsheet?
Well, I try to establish a size, what the total frame is, whether it's a volume or a two-dimensional space, in order to be able to group just a general idea of what my notions are for that particular work, and that then enables me to set a scale and help size what the different main parts of the sculpture is. And then once I start working on a form, it naturally evolves as I'm working on it, so I don't have to plan that out as carefully.
Very strategic.
Yes.
I love it. Okay, a few audience questions that we got. From Alex L. Who is the best and worst dancer of the group?
What?
I can answer that.
I'm the worst dancer of the group, but I do have help because Jose helps me with every dance step that I take, and he supports me, and it means the world to me.
Yes, the way we're structured usually is that Ryan, our producer, manager, director, will conceptualize, or the group of us will conceptualize what a video will be. And then if it involves dancing, then Ryan will communicate with Just Say on the moves and all, and also send a video to all of us. And then we'll schedule sessions where Just Say, who has been educated on the moves, will then work with us to help teach us and improve his work on the dances.
You put on your leotard, teach your dance lines.
I hate leotards. It's too many clothes. No.
That's how it works?
We do all work, and there is no good or worse one. We're just all interesting because none of us are professional dancers.
No.
You know, so it's teamwork, and we have fun.
Yes, you do, as is made very evident when we were watching your videos. Cindy K wants to know, who is your favorite celebrity that you've met?
Oh, I would have to say that my favorite celebrity that I've met is Drew Barrymore. She was so kind to us and so nice to us. And the way I describe Drew is she's the real deal.
I'll answer. I think Tom Brady was the most exciting person that I met. He was most gracious. He walked up to us and introduced himself to us. And I, of course, was speechless because Tom Brady to me is the GOAT.
You told us about your Sundays.
Yeah, but actually my favorite team, well, the Vikings are terrible this year. But you know, San Francisco's got a good team right now, and they've got a really sexy defensive lineman by the name of Bosa from Ohio State.
Robert, you were going to say someone? Who's your celebrity?
I have to agree with Nick because when he came into the area, which was a sea of people, his head towered above everyone. And I was so awestruck by his size and his physical appearance. And as he got closer, and as Mick described our encounter, he was such a pleasant guy, and it just really left a very strong, favorable impression on me.
Mm-hmm. Did you have someone? No.
Sure. Paula Abdul. She was the cutest little thing. And when we were working with her, she was like, come up and she just kept kissing his cheek. And it was like, oh, so I just turned and kissed her. And we just kept everything, but it was so cute. I love cute little fun people that want to hug and touch me. All of you.
Okay, everybody, here's a plug. I've got a plug for you.
What kind of plug?
Tomorrow we're going to be on the Town Hall show.
Yes.
And there is something very special that they did for Just Say. And you have to tune in to watch because Just Say was really touched by that.
I was beyond touched.
And we won't tell you anymore because you have to tune in. Cameron Hall show, what's it on ABC?
Bill will know. Bill knows all. Bill's the PR director.
Well, I've heard it might be on Fox, and I've heard it might be on ABC, but evidently it starts at 2 o'clock, I think.
Yeah.
Check on your guide.
Check your listing.
Yes.
Hit the guide button if you know where it is, old gays. and just go across to 2 or 3.
2 or 3. Cameron Hall. We'll Google it. All right. Christina V wants to know, who is the most hopeless romantic of the group?
Oh, no question. Just Say.
Robert answered so quickly. Do you agree? Do you want to? Why? Tell us what is in your nature that makes you hopeless romantic? Fall in love very quickly?
Pink hearts flying around in the sky. What makes me romantic? I don't know. I just love it. I just love the
You did just say
yeah.
someone who's cute and little wants to just love on you, and
I
that's.
didn't say I needed cute and little.
Excuse me.
I said she was cute and little.
You did.
She's cute. Yes.
Little Paula.
Cute. Yes. I don't know. Just I'm my mom in the male form, and she was the most.
I don't know what that means.
She wasn't romantic, but I just feel like she would feel a lot of love for people, and I live on your energy, and I know that we wouldn't be existing if you weren't here supporting us, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for being here with us on this journey.
You've talked a little bit about sort of the journey you've been on. Is there something that you could point to specifically about how you've changed?
I do make a lot of noise, don't I? I just know.
Yeah. Well, it's good to know that meant you had something to say.
Yeah, my big life change was when I lost my partner, because you're raised thinking you're going to be a certain way when somebody dies, but when it happens, I didn't have my wide hat with my black veil, my beautiful dress and gloves. It was the loneliest thing. It was around Christmas. So it was just everything I touched would break, and it just kept exploding. But because of my extended family around me who did come in, most people go away when you need them the most, but my circle came in and they lifted me up and carried me and got me back on my feet. And that's rare.
Yeah.
It's rare.
So
rare.
Feeling that support.
Yeah.
Is something that was
getting that support.
Yeah. I don't need to go down the line. Was there anyone else who felt compelled to say something the way that Jesse did?
Well, there are two things for me. One is that there's a noticeable improvement in the way my body works. And the second thing is I have a whole lot more money to spend.
Amazing. And that is important, whoever said that. Yes, it is. You guys, the book is so special. You're representing a community. Your heart and soul is so deeply on the page. It's very clear. And what's so fun that I think was exciting, what was exciting for me that you will all experience as well when you read the book is that, of course, they are each fully realized humans, but we don't get to experience them that way on TikTok. But so when you read these books, and I feel like I know you all so well because I know your stories inside and out, which is so lovely. So thank you for putting yourselves out there, for representing. I know I speak for so many of us when I say that. And if you haven't already, get your copy of The Old Gays Guide to the Good Life Outside from the Best Bookstore. And on Gays Reading, the podcast, I know Bill says that it all sort of, the little words at the top exemplify all of this to him, but it's lessons learned about love and death, sex and sin, and saving the best for last. I think you really get that when you read the book. Check out their episode on Gays Reading, because I do ask them what is a question they had never been asked and wanted to be asked, and Mick has a really terrific answer. So go check that out. He's had a lot of conversations since then, I'll remind him. But
yeah, that reminds me of a story when I was much younger. I went to a symposium with Gore Vidal.
Oh.
And Gore Vidal said something, referred to a former president as a rabid terrier. Later, I asked Mr. Vidal what prompted him to call the president that, and he said, "Oh, I don't remember anything I said." I took that as advice.
And on that note, thank you all so much. Congratulations on the book. And they're going to be signing books upstairs. Yes. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.